Hey, Baron, true story. True story. Baron says down here in Florida, we're a bit strange when it comes to weather. I thought the same thing when I moved here from Colorado. Um, I'm like, man, people are wearing like sweatshirts, hoodies when it's like 70 out. I'm telling you right now, it only takes about 6 months of being here. You will understand, man. It's so hot all the time. As soon as it hits like 70, man, we're freezing. I used to think the same thing. Now I'm one of them. All right, we'll get started here in about 2 minutes or so. I'm gonna play a little bit of music, get me hyped up. What do we want here? Can't do any Snoop Dogg there. I wouldn't be surprised. I bet a lot of my Periscope also goes to YouTube, and they have copyright stuff. So if you play music and they realize you're playing a song, they'll take it off your video so nobody can view it. It's kind of messed up. I forgot that I named this testing. I'll get better at it. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Main screen's coming up here. So first thing you're going to see, we're going to talk about the ES futures. Then I'm going to go over two focus trades. I'm looking at Lulu this morning, and I'm also looking at Starbucks. I've already started Starbucks pre-market, just small amount of shares here. And then the plan is if we pull back into the 9 EMA to add in this area between 87.65 and possibly 87. Looking for bids to come in if we do pull back indeed there. If we push up into and around this 89.42, looking at adding in there, bringing stops up and then moving into 90.36. And then again, 92 to the gap fill on Starbucks. Let's go ahead and move over here to the ES futures just really quick. All right, so what's happened so far since we were all sleeping? The market might have pulled back a little bit and then kind of sideways action here. You'll notice that I have red box, a yellow box, and a green box. The yellow box is basically, moderate support. Sellers come in at or around, 34.23 into 34.38. The line in the sand is 33.94 and a half. And again, this yellow box here, we could find buyers in here last night. Just so everybody can see, we came into, and I talked about this. So if you tuned into last night's session, I jumped on Twitter and I didn't talk through about three or four charts, and then I jumped on and gave you guys some information on what I was looking at. And this is what I was talking about on the 4 hour, waiting for price to come back down into the 9 EMA. It did find the 9 EMA, buyers stepped in, and we find ourselves here at or about 6 points up. So this morning, this is the big thing across the board what I'm looking for. All right, let's make this really simple. I like to draw. This should help. We have a session low. We have a high. This is basically noise between here. Okay. Can we take out the high? And if we take out the high, can we actually close over the high, hold a base here, and make higher highs? Each one of these are resistance until they are not. 3409, 3423, 3446, 3446 and a quarter. All right. To the downside, looking for support at or around the 9 EMA or 3386. And then underneath that, we have a trendy edge. You cannot see it. There it is, that yellow line. Okay. So at or around 3376, buy 3370, 3360. This should be supported in here. Now understand if some kind of major catalyst comes out, these boxes can be broken. Each one of my trades are traded by entry, stop, and targets. Targets are for trims and or close. Over here on a bigger time frame, you can see just have an ascending, you know, um, channel right here. Looks like if we were to push up, I like the confluence here. If we were to push up, you could see the trendy indicator here. You have a trend line that's here, and you have the 9 EMA here for support. All right. All right, let's go ahead and move on. We're going to look at Lulu. Okay. And typically I would already start this. I don't like trading anything with bigger spreads pre-market. So I have not started that position yet on the equity side. I most likely will look at options once we open and equity. But let's go ahead and look at it here on this screen. All right. So what I'm looking at and what I'm trading in is a down range. We have a down range, nice bottom, making higher lows. Okay. And at the moment, lower highs. So now we are sideways. All right, so a little bit of consolidation here for trendy traders. You guys know what this is. This is called our AC/DC setup. We're trying to hold between the green arrow and the red arrows. If we can hold this, my target is 387. That's right, 387. Notice the ATR is at or around $27. All right, current price is at 337. All right, so quite a ways away. I'm not looking to hit this today or even this week. All right, so my trade length time for this is probably 1 to 2 weeks. I would say more like 2 weeks. And as far as my risk is concerned, let's go ahead and go to a higher time frame. All right, so the 1 year daily, I'm looking at the 9 EMA. You can see it's confluent with my neutral. On open, what I can be waiting to do, a couple things I can do. If I FOMO and I feel the market is starting to push, okay, I can start a trade. And again, remember, starters, equity, an example, hypothetical. If I typically buy 1,000 shares, a starter could be 200 shares. If I typically buy 10 contracts, a starter could be 2 contracts. The reason why I do this is because if I'm wrong, because I'm a trader, it's okay for me to be wrong. Once you accept that, trading becomes so much more mechanical, okay? If it pulls back on me, I have a couple places I would like to add. It would be at the 9 EMA on the daily. What if it breaks the 9 EMA? Wait for the reclaim, okay? It's not like you're sitting there and somebody's got all this pressure on you. It really is pretty straightforward. Again, let me draw. These are coming down quick. You're like, hey man, I remember that 9 EMA, but it breaks right through it. Don't do anything. Wait until it comes back and reclaims. Then I can add. Okay. Then it takes out this high. Then I can add again. I could trim. I could trim. I can close. I could do whatever I want. Okay. It's my trade. I'll do what I want, right? All right. So again, higher lows, lower highs, sideways action for right now. Be a little bit more patient, 30 minutes to an hour or so. And if I cannot be patient, then again, I will start the trade. Let's go ahead and look at Starbucks. Okay, like I said, I already started pre-market. All right, you can see here we have a nice trend line. It could be an ascending triangle or so forth. If you're into shapes, what I have is a neutral strategy on here. Went ahead and started here at around 88.70. Okay, what I'd like to do is add above this pivot high on 89.42. Another thing I wouldn't mind doing is adding down here between or under 87.81 and all the way down to my trendy edge at around 87.13. All right. Now again, I am really small into this trade pre-market, and so I'm going to give it a little bit of time, leniency. Now you might notice that I have this word void here. All right, so this void is around 86.82. I want you to understand, depending on my time frame, which for this is probably going to be 1 to 3 days. All right, so that means just because the candle hits my stop doesn't mean I'm stopped out, especially if I'm in a starter. Price comes down, the 9 EMA raises here. Same scenario. It might break down a little bit more. I'm not worried. I'm in a starter. It reclaims. So bulls step in. I add, and then I'm trading this to the upside. Now I got to actually get a nice cost basis, and then I can look to add again. Stops come up under each one of my levels, not right to the tick, but right underneath pretty much. And then I trade this up into target into around $92. Okay. So that's those two trades. Those are my trade plans. Okay. And then let's go ahead. No, they're not, Jay. So Jay on these, I pulled from my trade plans. Yep. I put these out last night. All right. So let's go ahead and go back over here. We're going to go over a couple trades that we're already in. Long term, LTHM, lithium. I gave you a narrative there. This is looking pretty sweet, you know. Pre-market, I think it's pulled back a little bit. Um, let's say we're up about $1.40 or $1.50 from entry. Again, I am looking at the monthly of this chart. All right, please understand that. This is a long-term trade. Even if we hit targets, if anything, if we were to pull back to 1003, I'd add. If we were to pull back to 846, I'll add. Okay, targets for right now, 1182. We just hit that in pre-market and last night. Next target after that is 1358. I would expect it to pull back here if it holds about 30 to 40% of this range. So let me just show you right there. So if it holds about 30 or 40% of this range, which would probably come in about right here, my target, 1182, then I will add in and wait, a week or two for this break. And then I'm looking for 1591, and then again over the top of this structure at around 18, $19. Okay. Now this does show that we could be in some sideways action here for quite a bit. But overall, I like this move into and or around that $18 mark. Okay. And that's lithium. All right, let's go over here to our next one. Is there anything you guys would like to look at? Well, let's look at BABA really quick. I'm going to go over some of our trades really fast. So here's BABA 288.81. It's up a tad. All right, so looking at BABA, this is the monthly. We need to come down a lot lower right here in the daily. What I'm looking for is a move into and around 293 by 295. If we break out above 295, I will be looking for 298, 299. What is today? What are we looking at far as risk goes? I'd like it to stay above 285. Okay, see this accelerator right here? This is one of our trending indicators. Price came down, it held. I would really like to see that 285 hold for BABA. All right, very straightforward. All right, let's look at BA. I like that one as well. All right, so we got some DFEN on as well. So DFEN should look pretty good on open. We'll see. All right, we have trimmed that position already. All right, I'm going to take this off. And let's look at it from a daily perspective, Shea. All right, so we have this trend line on here. You probably can't see it, but it is very subdued right here. And I can extend it if I like. And it looks like we're about to break that as well. We're at 173, so we have broken above there. Now notice that the trendy edge is right above us, so that's going to be resistance until it's not. But short-term targets, 172.62 holds, look for 176.80. 176.80 breaks, bring stops up, look for 178.83. And then we're going to find one more target here. I'm going to come right up to the selling pressure at 184. So there could be a really nice breakout above that 178.83 into the 180s. Okay. All right. So you guys want to look at ICPT. All right. So I haven't looked at this in ages. You can see there's a lot of old stuff on here. So let's go ahead and clear the drawing set. All right. So there we go. You can see we're above the 9 EMA on the daily. I don't know what kind of time frame you're looking for here, but it is between the AC/DC setup. We're currently at 41 by 45. It needs to hold 42.17. Again, 42.17, and then we're looking for a move. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of selling pressure in here at 43.59. And then your next target over that is 45.05. We're going to come down just a tad from there at about 44.98. So short term, again, 42.17 needs to hold, 43.59 target, 44.98. All right, CRM. A lot of people looking for CRM to move, especially me. I bought some options last week. I bought right into that premium and it got sucked out real fast. What I was looking for, and it's still working, it's just in slow-mo. Nice rounding bottom here. All right, pushes up into the decel. All right, and that's why we started the position here into the decelerator. It couldn't hold. So right now, price needs to get over 253.06. Let's just say 253.10. And after 253.10, you're looking for 256.60 and then 264.97. As of right now, the daily 9 EMA looks like support. It comes in at around 248.39. All right, 248.39. So that's your line in the sand and or risk for CRM. All right. All right, Chewy 57 sideways rounding bottom. You can see the rails here. Okay, that's worked pretty well. All right, but for short term, what I'd be paying attention to is 58.65. So right now, 57 needs to hold for Chewy. Okay, and next target after that, 58.65, 60.34, 62.92. Longer term, void under 51. All right, SE. All right, C limited. This one's looking pretty nice. We've talked about this over the last couple sessions and last week. You got yourself a little target there and or blueprint. Do you have this one there, NC? Let's just go ahead and put this in the room so you can have that. I'm not sure if I uploaded that for any of you, but there you go. All right, pretty straightforward neutral strategy. Actually, this is a really good one. Let's go ahead and go over this. Actually, you guys had brought this up yesterday, remember? You're getting super excited about it. Isn't this the one? This is the one that Shaya and all you guys were talking about? So I put this neutral up here, and the reason why I did that is because, we don't want to be going long into a trendy edge. We want to be going long. If we come back into the trendy edge and go support, then I want to go long. All right. If I'm starting underneath the trendy edge, I just want to be starting a position. Then I want to add above it. So right now you're in the neutral. It is looking pretty strong. You guys have brought up some volume there yesterday. If we can hold in this level and break, I'd be looking at adding. And then looking for 165, 167.34, 170.16. Okay. And let's see here, docu. All right, docu's up about $3 or so. All of these are AC/DC setups, folks. All right. So you need, let's go ahead and move up here. 226.56 needs to hold. All right, we're at 228. 226.56 holds, looking for 237, and then 250.88, and then above that, 278.59. That's docu. So really, when I'm calling these out, the biggest thing is that number that I'm talking about holding. If for some reason we were to pull back right when we open, look to see if bids come in at or around that number. Okay. All right, here's SGen. All right, here's a neutral strategy. I guess we would put this on and push this out. So nothing's going to change here. All right. So above 193.94, looking for that move into 213. Currently at 199 by 202. Okay, 213, then 228.02. The daily or the weekly ATR on this is 13. And FCX, yep. All right, AC/DC setup as well. On this, I'd be looking at that gap fill. Even though the ME is up there and that's our target, just identify it. Come down underneath that wick just a tad. So you're looking at 1692. So right now, it looks like most likely, let's go to a 4 hour so we can see the pre-market action. Yeah, came really close of touching that gap fill. All right. So 1692 to about 17. Overall target is 1718 though. All right. And then for me, 4 hour 9 EMA looks really nice. You can see it's being respected. Again, it needs to close under for me to void this, but this is looking really nice into these levels. One thing I will say right before actually, and I'm sorry I missed this, is this big selling pressure candle here. All right. On FCX. See this little inside and down, a lot of selling pressure there. Now you can say that this line here looks like it came in at or around there, so we've already tested. So just know that it needs to get above this and stay above this. If it can do that, then you have a good, nice probability chance of hitting that 1718. All right. And again, I like the 4-hour 9 on that. All right, let's look at workhorse. I remember this thing hit all of our targets. Let's go ahead and clear this thing. All right, just like that. All right, nice little move. ACDC setup, 29.39. On all of these, make sure you pay attention to earnings, please. Okay, make sure you pay attention to earnings and understand what's going on there. Targets here on workhorse, 25.57. A hold above 25.57 gets you into 26.48, and then above that, 27.94. All right. Yeah. So here's the thing. All right, Bennett. So for me, what I love about ACDC, especially like small account holders or people that just like to, buy a little out of the money. Remember, our target is here. All right. And really, at the end of the day, I have a lot of different options here. I could take these edges, and I can sell call credit spreads in here. So something like looks like 20, 28 by the 29 and a half. If it made sense, I'd have to look, right? So you have those options. Far as just straight up, then I'm looking for 28 or 29 on the options. Okay. And then ATR is about $3.80. So of course, we can get pretty close to the WE. All right. So for me, as far as options are concerned, at the money and no more than, 27s, 27.50. Okay. And even 27s are kind of pushing it. So something like this, I like at the money. But as long as it holds 22.22, then I would stay long. That's me. Okay. Into 27.94 and 29.39. And then you asked, start at the WE, would I add or trim at the AC? You start at the WE, the lower WE, I'm hoping. Is that right, Bennett? Right? You started at the bottom? Okay, cool. Yeah. So that's up to you. I mean, it's totally up to you, right? To me, that move from 23.27, you're at 24.61. That's a nice move. I mean, depending on if you're trading, whatever you're trading, everyone's different. You could have 5,000 shares in this thing, and somebody else might have 50 shares in it. So it just kind of depends on you. If you're happy with your profits, there's nothing wrong with taking profits. But far as the methodology goes, again, the bigger term for me is this and this, as long as this holds. Okay. If you're shorter term, maybe the 4 hours your thing, and you want to make sure you stay above this 4-hour 9 EMA, and then just take it slow. Take out 25.57, come up, bring those stops up, and just ride this baby. Okay? Yeah, no worries, man. All right, and you can, if you're into shapes, you can see right here, just throw this down here, and you can see that there's confluence with this trend line and the trendy indicator or the accelerator. We break over the accelerator and we break over the trend line. Pretty cool, right? You can see the confluence there. All right. All right. So let's go over a couple more. I got rid of the AAL weeklies and held on to the longer term calls. So good job on that. That was more of, we did really well. Then we kind of scalped some positions, and then I held on 2 weeks out. DTE, I think of about 12 days now, 13 days. I'm still looking for 1383. It's up a little bit here at 1322. All right. Just want to go over some quick positions here. Zynga. All right, got the 9.5s. So we're in the money. And I have about 2 weeks left on this. We've already trimmed. These are basically free, but it is what it is. Just going to keep riding this, see if we get 971. And then I'm looking for about 1040. Okay, and that's Zynga. Yeah, let's come over here to my monitor. So I can check all these really fast. All right, then we had AMD yesterday. We crushed that trade. That was amazing. And then what I did was bought out um, 45 days. 45 days, folks. So we're up again here. All right, pre-market. This was our target, 86.30. And really, I'm going to take all this off. Okay, make it a little bit cleaner now. All right, and basically, so this is a good one, Bennett. So you're just asking about that position. This is the same thing, right? So what I did personally is I bought those spreads, right? And I financed it with our other trade that I took in equity, all right? And now I'm buying more time. But notice what I'm shooting for, right? With those spreads, that's what I'm shooting for up here at or around this area, okay? And it's giving me a lot of time to get there. All right, so AMD today, 86.52 is where current price is. And I would like for 86.50 to hold. We got the 90 EMA down here at around 85. Overall, bigger picture, AMD, I'm not concerned unless it breaks under 81.50. All right. All right, next one, let's look at Amazon. All right, Amazon 31.77, just kind of chopping around between the AC, DC. You can see that, accelerator, decelerator. All right. We had some lines on here. We hit those lines yesterday. Notice it came up into the trendy edge. It is resistance until it's not. So your big level today is 32.12. 32.12. I'm going to bring that down to about that area. I'm not really interested in doing anything intraday on Amazon unless it breaks above this area and can hold. And I'm not really interested in shorting Amazon unless it breaks down below 30.90. Okay, so all this is noise in here. And far as a dip buy would be somewhere around 31.37. All right. And again, I'm also in BABA. Okay. And this is up just a little bit. We went ahead and closed one option strike there before close yesterday, did well on that, and then went ahead and bought 1 minute before close yesterday, and just going to hold on to that. But my target here is 295 and up. All right. All right, also started some cat yesterday. It's sitting at 144.33 by 154.67. So congrats. As soon as we'll open, we'll be up on those as well. And basically, what I'm looking for, we took this trade about 3 weeks ago and did really, really well. We came into a higher time supply zone. That's what that is in red. And we just basically are chopping around in this thing. This thing can really break free if we get over the 159, 160 area. So keep CAT on your watch list. For me, that's what I'm looking for. Can we break above the 160? All right. All right, same thing with Etsy here. Let's go ahead and look at Etsy. We have about 4 minutes. I'm almost through these. All right, so here's Etsy. We're at 137.31. That was a great trade yesterday, and congratulations on that as well. And we went ahead and bought some further out um, spread, and we have this week. So we got the 139s by 145s, and we're at 137. Next target I'm looking for is 141.27. 141.27. Okay. I need to go ahead and set an alert there. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about LTH. I talked about it earlier this morning. I mean, I'm looking I'm looking at a monthly chart, and um, the only time I'll add to it is if it comes into one of those lower targets that I put add on. But if you are happy already because it's up $1.50 from where we entered, or a dollar, you can get out and then you can get back in over one of those targets. All right, so moving on here, there's Etsy. Oh, let's go right over here to HD. All right, so we're at 282.75 by 283. This was a nice one. This one pulled back on us and then ended up positive by the end of the day, and I still expect it. The bigger picture here is we have a trend line. You can see that on the 4 hour. That's pretty, standard. Pull back, see if it holds this. I'm looking for 285.19, above 285.19, looking for 287, and then looking for around 292. All right. All right, so we have about 2 minutes. Important for us to get back over here. Let's look at ES futures. We're up about 6.5 handles. I'm looking at a 4 hour, but as we open up, I do want to see if we can go bid above the PMZ. So we're going to go to a 5 minute candle, and you're going to notice that the trendy script is going to pop up here. This is the pre-market zone. Once I get there, sorry. Thinkorswim's acting a little funky. All right, and so far the risk is 2.25, so that means between this is 2.25 risk. What I'd like to see, and I have the screen frozen, is if we break down, okay, I'm looking for the line in the sand. I like to see us go bid there, okay? If we can break through here, shows that the bulls are in charge. We take out this pivot high, and then I'm looking for 34.09. All right, if for some reason it's a gap and go, you're going to see that the PMZ is going to hold. So right now this is called a neutral. If we could break here, stops go in, look for a move into 34.09. All right, and again, got Lulu over here. I need to wait until the options open to see what I'm interested in. And then over here, you can also see that Starbucks is up a little bit from where we started this morning. And again, looking for the 89.49 area. And I may add down here at 87.81. All right. So anyways, I'm going to cut it there. For anybody that may be interested in hanging out with us even longer, please go to trendytrading.co. We do have a special going on for trials right now. So check that out, and we'll see you soon, and hopefully be able to give you some updates here at the end of the day. All right. So we got some nice movers in here. Trying to figure what that is. Give me 1 second. Looks like Walmart long term is up really nice this morning. And there we go. Breakout from the PMZ. Remember what you're looking for. See if you can take out this high right here.